There's a building. The whole world thought he was made of steel. But you stick it on with a magnet. He is moving at a speed invisible to the naked eye, into a pile of rust. And here's what's even more outrageous. Engineers say he sprays 60 tons of paint every 7 years. To barely hold my breath. And any modern skyscraper in the world, you won't even live to be his age. It was a temporary installation of the Eiffel Tower in 1889. It was supposed to take 20 years to dismantle, and he killed 3 generations of designers. I'll tell you today, how long can he last? The story begins in 1889. Paris was going to host the World's Fair that year. France takes a deep breath, because across the Atlantic, Muse of Liberty, they have to respond more aggressively to the world. An engineer named Gustave Eiffel took the order. But many people don't know. Really draw the skeleton of the first draft. It's 2 engineers in his company, Maurice Coutin and Rougier. Eiffel first read the drawings. He's too industrial and ugly. And then the architect Soester added decorative mercury, added a pavilion. Eiffel nodded. And then he did a very commercial thing. Buy the design rights directly, carved his name on it. Paris didn't buy it at all. In 1887, 300 French cultural activists protested. Writer, painter, the architects all rushed in. Some people call him the Black Chimney of Paris. Some people say he is like a tragic street lamp. Dumas' son Dumas, the younger, also signed. The most poisonous sentence comes from the novelist Maupassant. He said he went to the restaurant in the tower every day to eat, because it is the only place in Paris where I can't see this ugly thing. But scolding is scolding. The government wants face. Eiffel to pass on. Hundreds of workers begging for food. Project holding. January 1887. The first shovel of soil fell into the foundation and dug 22 meters deep. Stand on the giant on a large concrete block. The hair plug is up to 7 meters long. 2 years, 2 months and 5 days, this bizarre iron tower climbed from the mud to an altitude of 300 meters. The most unbelievable thing is, there's no safety rope there. The age without helmets, only 1 worker died on the whole project. Completion day. Eiffel himself climbed to the top of the tower with a French flag in the wind. From that moment on, he became the tallest building in the world. He wore this title for 41 years, until the Chrysler Building in New York was completed in 1930. Was taken away. But you know, what was the clause of his original contract? Lease for 20 years. Demolition at the expiration date only counts as the scrap iron price. There are even specific requirements in the blueprint. The tower must be easily dismantled. In other words, from the day he was completed, it had a countdown on it. Eiffel himself is in a hurry. He put a weather station on top of the tower, aerodynamics laboratory, even invited Edison up for tea, just to prove that this tower works. Don't dismantle it. But it wasn't the tourists who really saved his life. The scientist is radio. Early 20th century. The rise of wireless telegraphy. The French military slapped a thigh. Isn't this a 300-meter antenna for a county seat? They're filling the towers with communications equipment. World War I. The Eiffel Tower intercepted German telegrams, helped General Galliani organize the Marne and counterattack, saved the whole of Paris. Since then, no one dares to say dismantle him anymore. In 1940, the Nazis invaded Paris. Hitler wanted to climb the tower to see the scenery. The French did something particularly romantic. They quietly cut the elevator cables. Hitler had to climb the 1,665 steps He's out himself. Of climbing. The French later said that Hitler had conquered France, but not the Eiffel Tower. The war ended. Tourists are back. But his real troubles were just beginning. Most people think the Eiffel Tower was just made wrong. He is iron. An old metal from the 19th century. The entire tower weighs 10,100 tons. Shutai has a fatal weakness. Afraid of water, afraid of acid rain in Paris. Once the paint breaks, the rust stone immediately drills into the bone. Eiffel has long predicted a sentence. The greatest enemy of iron is rust. Paint is his only defense. So the tower has to be repainted every 7 years. 60 tons each time. 18 months. Hundreds of workers hanging on a 2.70 million square foot iron shelf, inch by inch brush, until the 2020s. The problem can be solved. Epidemic collapses income. The overhaul before the 2024 Olympics. Budget, 60 million euros, 15 to 20 times more than in the past. Plan to allocate 30% of the old period to bare metal. But the reality is very cruel. The old 7 contains lead, tightening environmental regulations. Only about 5% actually get to the bottom. To put it bluntly, they're just on old wounds. Another layer of Band-Aid comes alive. In early 2024, things completely blew up. The operating company wants to triple the increase. Box office share paid to the city of Paris. Workers quit. Direct strike. The tower was closed for 6 days. The guild publicly warns that companies are overdrawing their future. Take the money out. Delay the repair. The architect in charge of painting, see with your own eyes. In some places, the tin is already exposed. A classified inspection report rated the overall condition of the tower metal as very poor. And make it clear, he needs a lot more than just surface painting. Does he want him tomorrow? Not the city of Paris and the operating company signed the document up to 2031. Long-term maintenance agreements, 380 million euros. But in the words of the architect himself, it's like you promised your doctor you'd exercise tomorrow. Corrosion, it won't stop just because of the promise you make. him today. Around the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, which is twice surrounded by newer and brighter glass towers. And he's still the 136-year-old Iron Lady, with paint patches and the love of the world. The Eiffel Tower won't fall tomorrow, but it's falling bit by bit. Will he live 100 years or 50 years? Depends on humans. Would you like to? For a building that keeps saying love. The order for this, $1,000. If you also like this, the true story behind the landmark, click to follow. I'll take you to pick those up next time. World famous buildings that are not written in textbooks.